What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we are talking about the latest from Holo Taco. I've got their Cottagecore collection for spring 2025. Now if you haven't heard of Holo Taco before, they are a nail polish brand created by YouTuber Cristine of Simply Nailogical, and all of their polishes are 10 free, meaning they are free of 10 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They're vegan, meaning they do not use any animal derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So in the Cottagecore collection, we've got 7 brand new polishes, 6 of which are pastel cream shades, and then we have one topper which actually has flower-shaped glitters in it, which I'm super excited about. So yeah, let me just get into the swatches, then we can talk a little bit more about my thoughts on them, pricing, availability, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. Alright, so as with all of my swatch review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today it's the Orly Bonder base coat. And of course I had to start off with the greens because I was super excited about these. The first of which is called Touch Grass, and this is a really beautiful medium green cream shade, and it has this really beautiful blue undertone to it, which I feel like is pretty different for this time of year. I love the level of saturation we have here. I love that it's almost like a deeper sage green kind of color. It definitely reminds me of like succulent vibes, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Perfect opacity in 2 coats and really easy to work with. And then we have the shade Time After Time, which is basically the lighter version of Touch Grass. So again, we have that blue undertoned pastel green cream shade. So this one's basically just like a minty green kind of color, but what I really love about it is that cool undertone, and I think these 2 greens pair together so stunningly, but I'll talk a little bit more about the color combos later. But yeah, this was another one, really impressive opacity in 2 coats. Next up we have the shade Skipping Stones, and this one is a super soft, almost white, light blue pastel shade. And I thought in the first coat that this one was gonna end up needing 3 coats on my nail length, so I was pleasantly surprised to see it in 2. And I think this is such a pretty one. I love the level of saturation here. Usually I feel like this type of shade is a little bit dustier, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I love that this one is a brighter blue while also still being very light and almost white. And then we have the shade Wild Child, and you know I always love a purple. This one is what I would call kind of a dusty lavender type of shade, and you can see the opacity was incredible. It was actually almost a 1-coater on me, and I will say overall the formulas on these were super opaque. I feel like they're going to be really great for nail art, especially being lighter colors, because sometimes lighter shades like this do require 3 coats or they're a little bit more difficult to work with, but these had really nice creamy formulas. And then we have the shade Nip in the Bud. This one is sort of a blush toned neutral shade, and I was really excited about this one because there is that slight warmth going on in it, and to me this one really feels like a perfect neutral for my undertone. I love this type of shade. I love when Holo Taco does these more neutral shades, especially when they lean into the browns. So I'm always pleasantly surprised when I see shades like this. I know they don't love doing them, but I love when they do. And then the last cream finish in the collection is Rosemary Kill, and this is another one that's almost a white but not quite. So this time we have that sort of pinky tone going on in there, and this one is really stunning as well. Really impressive opacity, very easy to work with, and I just feel like it's a perfect basically white kind of color that you can wear without it feeling too stark on your nails, and it also feels like a really beautiful palette cleanser kind of shade. And then last but definitely not least, we have the Garden Party Taco, which is the flower shaped glitter topper, which I think is so fun. I believe this is the first time that we've seen a shaped glitter topper from Holo Taco. I know they've done some fun shapes in colors before, but this is the first time we're getting a true topper. So this one is a bunch of iridescent sparkles and hex glitters in the base, and then we also have these larger satin white flower glitters, which is so fun. And I do love that satin sort of finish. It's very soft, it's very neutral, but it also makes them apply very easily so they don't really stick out on the nail. And the way I like to apply polishes like these is usually I'll either do a very thick coat so that I get a lot of the flowers onto my nail, or I'll do a very thin base layer without the bigger glitters, and then I'll just individually place them with the bottle brush. So if you're not familiar with these types of shaped glitters, glitters, you might be a little bit confused on application just because those heavier glitters don't really apply the same way as regular polish, but once you get the hang of it, they're so fun to wear. So really enjoyed this one. Honestly, it looks stunning over every color in the collection, and I can't wait to play around with it more. So here are all the polishes together, and I have to say the combinations are just stunning here. I love the way that the colors pair up so perfectly together. We have the two greens, we have the two pinks, we have that blue and purple that I feel like are just so perfectly matchy for either a mani-pedi or for having an accent nail or even doing gradients on your nails. So I think that those three pairs are just perfect. And then I love that all of them work really beautifully with that topper as well. So just an overall really great color story. I don't normally go for the springy, Eastery pastel kind of colors, but I have to say I do think they did a really good job curating this set because I love the way that they match each other. So I do think they did an incredible job here. And like I said, the formulas were very impressive, but yeah, let's talk a little bit more about these because I really genuinely enjoyed them. So those are the polishes, and overall I do think it's a great classic spring collection. We definitely get all of those very typical pastel spring vibes. I will admit it's not usually colors that I love this time of year. However, I do think these are really beautiful. I love that we got two greens, especially ones that suit each other. So I feel like they would be really nice for gradients or just for little accent details with each other. And I have to say, I'm especially excited about that flower topper. If you know me, you probably know that I love glitter shapes in my toppers, and I just think flowers is a really fun choice. And I like that they have that sort of satiny feel to them, so they're just like a little bit softer and they really work over any color. And I will say, as far as formulas go, these were absolutely amazing. I love the opacity of them, and I also love just having some any time of year kind of neutrals. I think shades like these usually make really good bases for nail art, especially if you want to have a light background but you feel like white is just a little bit too stark. These always work really well for that. So now let's get into pricing and availability. All these polishes are available on the Holo Taco website. They come in 12 milliliter bottles, and they do feature a wide flat brush that has a rounded tip, so application's really easy. The price does vary based on the finish, so the cream finishes are $12 USD each, and the topper is $13 USD. So I'm gonna link everything down in the description. You can check them out if you're interested, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts. So what do you think of these polishes? Which is your favorite? Are you a typical spring pastel person, or what do you like to see this time of year? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. I love you all, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's would you rather question is, would you rather get brain freeze from ice cream or burn your mouth on hot food? Personally, I would rather get brain freeze. I feel like it doesn't happen to me as often, but whenever I burn my mouth or my tongue on hot food, I feel like it lasts for days. Like you just feel that sensation for a really long time. And when it comes to brain freeze, it's obviously very uncomfortable, but then it goes away. And also, I feel like when you push your tongue to the top of your mouth, it helps the brain freeze go away fast. So I would choose that just so that it doesn't impact my eating for more than 1 minute. But let me know your answer to the question in the comments, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!